Hello everybody, Justicia here. Today I'm bringing you some solo Scythe late night gameplay from Miller. It's about a 45-minute session that's condensed into a shorter video. In this video I will commentate on the general gameplay that I do, choices I make, why I engage certain enemies. I hope you'll enjoy. Also, as you know, I've been working on a solo Liberator guide video, but seeing as SOE is trying to make some changes to the Liberator, I'm going to put that on hold until the changes are more final and we know actually what's going to change. So first I will be going over my Scythe loadout. I'm using the afterburner setup for this run, which has the Saren laser cannon, which is a standard nose gun for the Scythe with thermal optics, magazine size upgrade level 4, which adds 10 bullets, and ammo capacity level 9, one short of max. I'm using this over the Hailstorm because in solo sessions I like to be behind enemy lines, and the Saren laser cannon ammo capacity lasts much longer than the Hailstorm. I'm using the external afterburners, fire suppression level 4 to give me some health boost as flares aren't usually necessary, flying solo late night, with of course nanite auto repair, and then the racer airframe instead of hover. For solo late night play I think racer is more useful than hover. My acquisition timer has been maxed out, but that's usually not a problem if you can survive for a longer time late night. I'll also quickly go over my appearance for those interested. For camo I'm using the Torment camo. For decal I'm using the nice Skywell camo, which also looks very nice on the Liberator or Galaxy. I'm using the teal glass for the Scythe with the tiger fins and the standard Lumifiber. For infantry loadout I'm flying as light assault, or bait assault as people like to call it, with the MKV suppressed, night vision scope, extended magazines and soft point ammunition. Underboss a secondary gun with the darklight flashlight. Jump jets, I also fly usually with drifter jet, but jump jets can also come in handy. Grenade bandolier, normal frag grenade, and C4. This light assault with C4 really will come in handy during this gameplay. And importantly, for implant I'm using the enhanced targeting to allow me to see the health of spotted enemies and enemy aircraft as well.
TR Mosquito spotted.
That was the first engagement of the evening. As you can see, I used my free look to locate the enemy, and I had a random friendly Scythe follow me around and kill the enemy with me. This is an uncut session of gameplay, but from this point I will speed up the lulls or quiet boring parts of the gameplay to keep the action going a bit. As this is a late night session, I'm using the enemy activity heat map on the map to locate enemies, because otherwise you'll be flying around a long time without finding anybody to fight. In addition to watching the map, sound is also very important in this game. In this case I decide to fly towards Rustmaster Lookout and Crimson Bluff Tower because there's some enemy activity there, and when I approach it I definitely hear a shredder firing to my right, and I look right and I see the tracers.
Enemy gunship in the area.
It also really helps to know the good enemy pilots and gunners on your server. In this case I didn't know the enemy pilot, so I just assumed there wouldn't be too much of a danger, so I didn't fly very carefully and just took him out with minimal dodging of his shredder gun. That was a close one. I did hear him incoming and I tried to evade him while he moved in, and he almost ran me. I did lose some health, but it wasn't too bad and I took him out. A little bit further on I hear another Reaver, and I see 2 Reavers on the pads. So me and the Scythe that has been following me around for a bit take them out easily.
NC Reaver ID.
Flying to Zervan, I hear more air fire at Rustma's lookout, so I turn there, I see a Galaxy and a Liberator. I just quickly tag the Galaxy to get some assist XP when it goes down, and then I go for the Liberator.
Enemy gunship in the area.
Now here's a great lesson in situational awareness. I land right next to this Vanguard, put some C4 on him, take him out. And as you know, I'm not running stealth, so he should have looked at his minimap. Keep watching and you'll see me try this again on a different tank later in this gameplay.
Visual on a mosquito. TR mosquito spotted.
Ah yes, Coyote is the secondary gun, right. Everybody uses it as a primary gun. I see another mosquito come up behind me, so I just run to the biolab. Hopefully the Scythe can take away the attention of one of the mozzies, and I turn around and take care of them as well.
Identified a Republic mosquito.
we go. My first Scythe lost to Fleck. I didn't pay proper attention, so I deserve to lose my Scythe there. I see the NC have some points at Regent Rock, so I fly around looking for their Sunder. I don't find it, but by luck I see an enemy fall in and I see their spawn beacon, so I'll take it out and fly away again. I see a Sunder and try to throw down some Hail Mary C4, but they miss, so I don't bother and fly away again. Alright, so here we've got an example of choosing your battle. This battle involves a Shredder Liberator, a Mozzie, Flak, and lock-ons. So what do? You see a Liberator and a Mozzie at the same time, you should go for the Mozzie, because usually ESFs are much more dangerous than Liberators. You can dodge Liberators much more easily, you can outrun them, but ESFs, you can't, you have to fight them. So in this case I go for the Mozzie, but there's too much Flak focusing me, so I leave the Mozzie and don't see him again. Later on I fly towards the Lib, but I get locked by ground lock-ons, so I fly away out of the range of the lock-ons and take on this Liberator from a greater distance. When I focus the Liberator, he also focuses on me and lures me a bit to the ground, but I won't get too close to the ground because I know there are lock-ons over there. So instead, I lure him away towards the biolab and take care of him there. As this is the Liberator, that's the same one as the one I fought first, I know that I don't have to dodge his Shredder too much to take him out. So yeah, fighting solo in an ESF, it's always very important to keep in mind that you need to choose your own battles and also try to have the fight be on your terms. So fight on your terms and choose your battles. Alright, so here we have a weird fight. I see Shintix from ABTF, who is arguably the best solo Galaxy pilot on Miller, and I try to engage him from long distance. Fighting a solo Galaxy, you have to keep in mind that he can shoot you with his Bulldogs in 2 shots or with his top or rear gun, so I try to stay below him and keep engaging him from a little bit of a distance, but as I know I can dodge most of his shots, I don't keep a lot of distance and try to take care of him by just dodging his shots. A Liberator comes in and tries to take me on, and I take a look at who it is and I don't recognize him, so I just keep on engaging Shintix instead. Finally, an ESF does enter the fight, and he rams me, so that ends the fight right there and keeps me from taking down Scythe, the Lib, or the ESF. Here I hear the skill missile coyotes being used as primaries behind me, so I figure it's the same Muzzy again, and I turn around and take him on.
Eyes on an enemy gunship.
Here I see Scythe and decide not to engage him, but I also see a Liberator and an ESF. So once again, when you see an ESF and a Liberator together, it's usually best to go the ESF first. So yeah, that's how you do it, people. When you see an ESF coming in for ramming speed, you jump out, jump back in and kill the ESF anyway.
Identified an enemy gunship.
Leave the restricted area.
Yeah, so these liberators probably weren't very experienced because neither of them shot their belly towards me or tried to engage me in the way that liberators can engage air best. I just chased them a bit, took them out, and wasn't in very much danger except for those close Daltons, but you know, sometimes you have to take the risk to get the reward. Alright, same spot, same tank tactic. I land and try to take out the tank. However, when I land, I have to go around my Scythe because it lands in a bit of an awkward spot. And thankfully it's a lightning that sees my Scythe and not a Vanguard. So he only gets my Scythe to burning before he is taken out by my C4. And I can still fire suppress and get away. Yeah, nose guns can be very effective against harassers, but as you can see, carbines can also be effective against ESFs. And I have to be careful because I'm underneath the tree, so I can't just fly away quickly. I turn around and take out the infantry. Yep, another Coyote hero, but this time this one also uses his nose gun, and he takes me out successfully. I quickly get revenge by getting on his tail and taking him out.
Identified an enemy gunship. Alright, so here I got myself into a very dangerous situation because I chase a Reaver and a Mozzie over an active war zone between the NC and TR. So I get locked on and get to burning. But I managed to do something about it, you'll see. So yes, once again a biolab saves me. Biolabs are a great place to run to in ESF and hide. You can evade enemies usually for a long time when you fly below them.
Identified a Republic mosquito.
So yeah, that was the first really stupid move of the run on my end. I tried to reverse around the galaxy, but I obviously failed very hard and crashed into him. I see the galaxy far to my left, so I engage him and take him out. He just runs away, so it's easy for me to take him out by just keeping my distance and shoot him until he's dead. While typing, I hear some C4 being blown up and I see the Sunder on the minimap, so I turn around and help them out.
NC Reaper ID.
I was planning on engaging only the one Reaver, so when the second one shows up I once again go for the biolab to try and shake one off. In the end, one crashes into the biolab and the other runs to the warp gate, and I try to chase him and take him out, but no success.
Reaver in the area.
This area is restricted.
Keep an eye on the minimap. You'll see there's a striker being fired at me from southwest of the biolab. I take note of it as well, and it will come back later in this gameplay.
Eyes on an enemy gunner. Visual on a mosquito.
Liberator lands and has at least 2 engineers repairing it. So I take out the engineer first, because otherwise I cannot take out the Liberator, and then take out the Lib. On the way back I run into this mosquito. I try to engage him, but I don't have any bullets left, but fortunately he doesn't see me and I can go back for resupplies. The next fight will show you why I love fighting in the canyons in Indar, because the canyon walls allow you to take advantage of line of sight and surprising your enemy.
Visual on a mosquito.
Second Reaver jumps me, so I go for the Biolab again. For the same 2 reasons as before, you need to choose your battles and dictate the terms of your fight. Remember that striker user that I spotted on the minimap southwest of the Biolab before? He locks onto me again, but this time I have no enemies surrounding me, so I can safely go to him and take him out. Alright, this gameplay video is almost over. If you enjoyed this type of commentated gameplay, please let me know in the comments. And also, of course, again, if you want to see something else, let me know as well. I was working on the Liberator guide, as I mentioned before, but it's put on hold until we know more about the outcome. And this also goes for my Liberator soloing against tanks, because the tank vessel will be severely nerfed, which will impact how the video will turn out as well. So for the near future, the videos I'm planning on making are, for example, Vanu Science clips or highlight clips, or just small solo Liberator clips, I think.
Conglomerate Reaver spotted. Eyes on an enemy gunship.
This is the final battle of this gameplay. I see Seb flying around, and I decide not to engage him, but engage the Liberator with him instead, thinking he won't engage me either. Clearly I was wrong, because he gets in my tail as soon as he spots me. I try to outrun him by flying close to the Liberator, and thankfully for me the Liberator downs him, but my fight with the Liberator doesn't end well.
Identified an enemy gunship.
That was the fail reverse maneuver that ended my gameplay. Thank you for watching.